nothing and joy stops here. It's next 6 minutes of gloom and doom. To begin with, I'm a professor. In media studies, I have been researching and writing about the influence and impact of social media on people's lives. How quiet everybody gets immediately. My work has been focused to find out how this new media technology has changed the way societies organize and communicate with each other, both positively and negatively. But social media, we have to accept the fact, is the dominant way people globally now communicate. And it has surpassed the old media of television and radio in 2018. People in large media-rich countries like China, India, Brazil, and United States are now first turning to social media platforms to receive information, and we call it the first contact. The social media information I study is highly interpersonal and emotive, since the information shared is usually by one of us, another individual. And because it's interpersonal, it tends to be overly subjective, biased, and limited in its informational scope and richness. And I think we know that just from our day-to-day conversation. There's one area in which social media has excelled, which is marketing, and has been successful for advertisers. And the amount of information, you already know this, consumers are willing to share on their social media space has led to unbelievable amount of profits, not only for advertisers, but consumers. Social media has also become a site of collective action. The Tahrir Square, which I sort of put the slide up here, revolution of 2011 is a very good example. In Egypt, it would not have taken place if it wasn't for Facebook, where one single post brought about 500,000 people on the streets and eventually led to the toppling of Hosni Mubarak's regime. Another example that was mentioned before is the uniquely social media-driven collective action which is called #activism, such as Black Lives Matter, Me Too, and Muslim Women's Day, which has allowed for marginalized voices to be heard and change cultural discourse in a global way, not just sort of in a local, within our confines. And one of the examples, of course, the successful examples that we have studied anywhere in the world was the Women's March, which took place in January 21, 2017. It was a very good example to talk about here, because almost everybody in the old media had no idea and failed to report about this event till the day before. Nobody had any clue, and many people in the old media were surprised about how quickly the message has spread. One of the successes of social media's power has been the use of memes. I don't know how many of you people follow your children's Snapchat or any of their social media. That memes is one of the primary form of communication, information consumption among our youngest consumers between the ages of 16 to 25. My research has been focused on the problematics of social media proliferation, the use of data, and breaches to individual privacy. Platform companies have made very few attempts to keep the information of their users private. The data is not only being used for marketing purposes, but also governments to target their individual citizens. Since they're US-based, these platform companies have been resistant to any kind of regulations, consistently arguing for First Amendment. Globally, however, we have seen European Union and countries like Chile, which are just starting to regulate platforms for privacy protection, safeguard against fake news, and to advocate primarily for consumer rights. Positive collective actions such as Me Too and Black Lives Matter have been followed by negative collective action. And this is something I've been studying, especially what we have seen, the misinformation social media as in India, where public lynchings, what we have seen are public lynchings of minorities. Some of these lynchings have been broadcast on Facebook Live and have been used to generate selfies. Research finds that social media has been inundated with what we call the fake news generators. Fake news tend to get more likes, retweets, and shares than real news. Fake news generators are becoming lucrative business. This one is based in Brazil. And these companies use fake news generators to sort of spread information, especially among political parties. The amount of misinformation of these fake news generators has led, of course, to human rights crises, such as the one we have seen in Myanmar. The misinformation led to the exodus of Rohingyas, killing of 43,000 of them, and exodus of 500,000 to Bangladesh. Some countries are starting to ban social media outright, as in the latest ban in Sri Lanka, where all social media sites, including YouTube, were banned for almost 3 weeks following the Easter Sunday terrorist attack. And we also have countries like Saudi Arabia, Venezuela, Pakistan, which have been banning social media intermittently in some regularity. My research has been focused on global media ethics, where I've studied how globalization of media creates ethical challenges. In the research that we have been studying, me and my colleagues, we argue that social media has created a paradigm shift akin to what printing press did in the 14th century and television in the 20th century, basically changed the way we organize basic information. In the books, this is kind of my plug, that I've written, the focus has been on how we can recalibrate our knowledge and communication system with this advent of new technology. We don't need to reinvent ethics, we argue, but we need to tailor it for the new media ecosphere, where users are being used as data points and primarily as marketing tools. So what do we write about? We advocate for and write for platform ethics, which is the platform companies themselves, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and WhatsApp, have to develop their own ethics documents, which specifically focus on principles such as diversity, tolerance, free speech, and empathy. And if you just recently saw in the last few weeks, Facebook just announced their first ethical principle on hate speech, and it's a very interesting read if you have some time. Alternately, we also advocate for, and we're open for anybody in the local schools to come and talk to students, for user ethics, which is for consumers to learn how to use platforms in a way to minimize harms. And this include learning to post, learning to reply to posts, and learning to share and promote. As these statistics on Pew Research shows, we have started to turn off our televisions in large numbers and turn to social media. And it's important for us to sort of not only see these changes, but also study how these changes of this new technology is impacting our day-to-day lives. Social media is no longer an ancillary form of communication. It's central to the way we're consuming and interpreting reality. So in our research I have conducted until now, I conclude that it's media literacy, platform ethics, and some laws. Can there be a future for information sharing which could be useful and productive rather than negative and chaotic? Thank you.